Hello and welcome! My name is Heather. I'm a registered professional counselor and a certified life coach. If you're new here, thank you so much for being here. Today, I'm going to take a look at Dean's jealousy when Rory and Tristan are rehearsing for the play Romeo and Juliet. Let's get started.
Excuse me, stop, boy. Could you tell me where I can find the shortening?
Tristan was added to Rory's scene of the play at the last minute, and Paris decided that they needed to find a safe place to rehearse their scenes. So they booked Miss Patty's place, and Rory didn't get a chance to tell Dean that all of this was happening and that Tristan will be in Stars Hollow. They're currently waiting for the space to rehearse, and Tristan runs off to Dosey's Market.
What are you doing here? Well, to be honest, there's something I wanted to ask you. In your professional opinion, which one of these would make my cakes fluffier?
Tristan has been getting in trouble at school a lot lately, and he's been hanging out with a different group of guys who are a bit reckless. I don't remember the last time Tristan and Dean saw each other. I think it might have been at the dance when they last talked, but Tristan here again is trying to provoke Dean at his place of work.
You drove all the way out here just to be a jerk. There aren't enough people who can't stand you in Hartford? Oh no, I'm here for Rory. What? The play, Romeo and Juliet.
Dean is trying to stay calm, and he still doesn't understand why Tristan is there, whereas Tristan is clearly trying to get Dean to react, and he does so by saying that he's there for Rory, when really he's there to rehearse the play with Rory and Paris, Madeline, Louise, and Brian. But of course, he leaves all of that out just to make Dean mad.
But she did tell you, didn't she? Look, I think you better leave.
Dean is trying to de-escalate the situation by telling Tristan to leave. He probably knows that Tristan isn't telling the whole story, which he isn't. From what I've seen from Dean, he's never provoked Tristan, and he's never tried to instigate a fight with him. He's always been on the receiving end, and he always tries to remain calm.
Oops. God, I'm so sorry. I'm such a klutz. Oh, here. Let me. This should cover it.
Tristan has made fun of the fact that Dean and Rory live in a small town, and he's always carried himself as though he's entitled. By dropping the bag of flour on the floor and then dropping the money on the floor, it's basically a message he's sending, which is, I can get away with anything because of my socioeconomic standing, and you have to clean up after my mess. One way to look at this is that maybe he's feeling inadequate, that Dean's in a relationship with Rory instead of him. Even though Tristan goes to Chilton and his family has a lot of money, and he doesn't understand why Rory chooses Dean over him, and maybe he's lashing out even more. That can definitely be a possibility because we have seen a softer side to Tristan very briefly, but we did see it.
Rory, what is he doing here? I got something to say with this guy.
Please.
Rory comes in to try to interject before there's a fight that breaks out between them. And she comes in at a good time because I don't know how Dean would have reacted with what Tristan just did. I think he would have gotten a bit angry and he would have told Tristan to leave again. Let's keep in mind that Dean is working, so I don't think he would actually get into a fist fight in the baking aisle.
Sorry I didn't tell you about this before, but Tristan
Is playing Romeo to your Juliet. Yeah, I heard.
Rory is trying to explain to Dean what is going on, and he's willing to listen to Rory even though he knows the main reason as to why Tristan was there and that he's there to rehearse for the play.
But he wasn't even in our group at first, and then no one else wanted him, and then Paris moved our rehearsal spot to here, and she did it today, and I didn't have time to tell you.
Can you imagine if this unfolded in the present day? It probably wouldn't be an issue because Rory would have texted Dean all of this earlier when she first found out about it, and maybe Dean would have checked his phone during his break or before he went to work, so he would have known.
I know you hate it.
Yeah, I hate it. I really hate it.
But we do the scene on Sunday, and then it's over, and it's back to Tristan? Who?
Rory is reassuring Dean that this is a very short-lived thing of having to spend time with Tristan on the play, and hopefully this can help ease any feelings of anxiety Dean may be feeling. Maybe Dean is also feeling protective of Rory because he knows that Tristan has bothered Rory in the past and he doesn't like the idea of him bullying her too.
You must mean that young boy who got mysteriously strangled by a Dosey's Market apron one night.
I heard about that. Awful. They say drugs were involved.
Okay, good. So there's a resolution and an understanding between Dean and Rory, and it's a good sign that they're both using humor to lighten the mood and to move on. According to Gottman's research, humor is a powerful repair technique. It can lower the tension level of an argument and destroy the division between partners. And that's what we just saw from the both of them.
I'm really, really sorry.
Sorry about what? You didn't choose to do this with him, right?
No, I didn't.
What do you have to be sorry for?
Rory is apologizing and trying to take responsibility, which is good, and Dean is also saying that it's not necessary because it wasn't her fault or her choice to work with Tristan. Rory hasn't told Dean about her kiss with Tristan after her and Dean broke up, and so it's possible that Rory is also experiencing feelings of guilt for kissing Tristan and also hiding it from Dean. And by wanting to apologize, she's wanting to lessen those negative feelings that he doesn't know that she's experiencing. Do you think Rory should have told Dean about the kiss? Let me know in the comments below.
That I didn't tell you about the rehearsal. And that no doubt is touring with you two.
Rory reframes the apology and says that she's sorry for not letting him know about the rehearsal. Again, probably won't be an issue nowadays, but it's good to know that she did acknowledge that, and that can also help Dean feel better in the moment. And she also continues to use humor to repair.
Alright, so when's this thing over?
Sunday.
Okay.
We see Dean accept the fact that they're rehearsing together and that things between him and Rory are stable and resolved. Let's take a look at the next scene where Rory and Lorelai are at Luke's and Dean pops in.
It's my night off and I thought maybe I'd come by and watch.
Watch what?
Watch you.
Watch me do what?
Rehearse.
Okay, so now we see some signs of concern, at least from Dean, as he invites himself to watch the rehearsal. I'm curious as to what happened between his and Rory's last conversation until now to make him feel insecure.
You should just come on Sunday.
That's a good idea. After all, Sunday is the day of rest, and that's what you'll be doing, resting, because it's boring. It's not your fault. You didn't write the damn thing.
Well, I'll come on Sunday too.
Rory is saying that the rehearsal is boring and that they don't even know their lines yet, and that he should just come on Sunday instead. And Lorelai is also trying to encourage Dean in a very Lorelai way, without sounding too pushy, to also come on Sunday.
Rory, come on, I'll sit in the back, you'll die, and I'll walk you home. It's no big deal, right?
Right.
Good, so I'll see you tomorrow.
It's clear that Rory doesn't want him at the rehearsal, and this could be for a few reasons. One, it's uncomfortable to have your boyfriend check up on you or to monitor you, but the other reason, which I think is the main reason she doesn't want Dean there, is because she wants to limit his and Tristan's interaction so Tristan doesn't tell Dean about the kiss. Now, what Dean is failing to do is recognize Rory's and Lorelai's explicit cues, and that could be due to the fact that his insecurities have gotten the best of him.
Oh, yeah. He's fine.
Rory approached Tristan the next day at school and told him not to say anything about the kiss to Dean, and she's worried that he would tell Dean. Let's fast forward to the rehearsal and see what happens.
Ron, you say that's with the kiss I die, then you kiss her and die.
We see Dean standing in the back, and this is so uncomfortable to watch. It's really awkward that he's there, and why is he standing and not sitting?
If I'm sitting, I can't disable his neck or his groin.
Can I just get through the scene?
My jokes are quick. That's with the kiss. I die.
Tristan is still trying to get a reaction out of Dean by staring him down before almost kissing Rory, and he's clearly taunting him. But Dean has the choice to not be there and to not watch it. I feel like he's just torturing himself. And maybe he's telling himself that this is his role as a boyfriend and that he needs to protect Rory from Tristan. Because who knows what he would have said or have done to Rory if Dean wasn't there. But to be fair, I feel like he's doing that because he's there.
With this being our last kiss and all, it makes me think about our first kiss. You know, at the party.
Tristan was trying to hint that there was another kiss between him and Rory, and then he says it's a scene from the play, but to Rory, it looks like he was about to tell Dean about their actual kiss that they had at Madeline's party. I don't know why he would be directing that comment to Dean, because obviously he has no idea what happened, but it's to the point where he's stressing Rory out because he agreed not to talk about it, and now he's insinuating something happened, but it's just going right over Dean's head.
Dean, I really need you to leave.
What?
Rory tells Dean to leave, and I think the main reason is because Tristan came too close to telling Dean about the kiss. Tristan is a bit of a loose cannon, and by getting Dean to leave, she can ensure that their secret is safe.
Well, I don't like the way he's messing with you.
I don't like it either, but we have to get through the scene, and we can't get through the scene with you standing there.
She does have a good point. They're not getting any work done, and Dean standing there like he's Rory's bodyguard is not helping the situation. And it's distracting Tristan because now he's just focused on getting a reaction out of Dean.
Dean, please?
Fine.
Dean has honored Rory's request to leave, and he doesn't put up a fight. He doesn't get angry or start yelling. He understands, I think, to a certain extent, that he's making this situation more difficult than it has to be. If you have any scenes or relationships you'd like me to analyze, leave your suggestions in the comments below. Next week's episode, I'm going to take a look at Lorelai and Max's relationship. So make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss it. In the meantime, check out my other Therapist Reviews videos on Gilmore Girls. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Until then, be kind and love yourself.